Hello everyone, welcome to Vishnu IAS Academy. Today we'll discuss about China-India relations. So, previously if you see, we are always in a conflict between India and China due to the land boundary issues or maybe the river or maybe the some part of water sharing, right? But today if you see, India and China are in conflict because of the Buddhism. So, apart from all the strategic things or geopolitical issues, now religion also a conflict area between the Buddhism and India, like Buddhism between India and China. Okay, so if you see, this is a new era. See, if you see, here we can see Ladakh and these all the Himalayan area, and we can see Bhutan and all those things. Those areas are completely Buddhist, right? So that area, especially if you see Ladakh and Tawang of Arunachal Pradesh, there China wants to occupy because Arunachal Pradesh of Tawang has shared the boundary with China. That's why China wants to occupy. But we're not allowing that to happen because we are so strong at that region with all the programs like aspirational district, etc. So now if you see Buddhism, it's apart from the regional thing, now religion also come into place. Why? Because of the diplomatic isolation they are facing and the infrastructure influence and the control mechanisms. Because Buddhists, they usually live at Himalayas, so they are isolated from rest of the world. So that's what isolation says. And if you see currently, Dalai Lama also plays an important role because he's a head for all the Buddhist monks. That's why all the infrastructure. So because in order to get the good strains for Buddhism, infrastructure also plays an important role. In the same way, control mechanism. So Golden Un ceremony is the mechanism usually in China they use to elect the head. That's what, because of these things, we have now a conflict. See, if you see this Golden Un, so it's a kind of election. They'll put all the slips with the head names and they'll keep it in this bowl and they'll take it out. So whoever get the name, he'll be the head of all monks. That's what they follow in the China. But this Golden Un, if you take in China, it's introduced in 1793 by Qing dynasty. And as I said, they'll be taken out. It's just like picking up one of the candidate name from it's like a lottery stuff. But if you see in the other regions, like Tibet and all, they'll be like, it's a not elected or taking one system, it's a hereditary one. So that's why physical control and institutional influence and transition networks. So if you see always, Tibet is autonomous region and it is connected with both the China and India because Beijing has more influence on institutional in the Tibet region. And the similar way, because of the all surveillance China is using in that area, that also plays an important role. And if you see a transition networks and Buddhists, because for their development, they are more or less dependent on China. That's why now it's a conflict. And if you see, this Dalai Lama election, because of the strategy used in Dalai Lama elections, because of that, we are saying whatever they have in their culture, that has to be followed. But China is asking them and forcing them to follow that Un system only, Golden Un system only. That's why if you see this Golden Dalai Lama, and you can see the image there, and because of this, who is the successor? That's the question. That's why you're conflicting. So Dalai Lama's future. So now it's a 15th Dalai Lama. He is not only Asian, it's a pan-Asian Dalai Lama. And China's claim is that follow Golden Un system. And as I said, all India's saying that Tibet Buddhists follow. Please follow that because it's in their culture and heritage and global implication. So all the global how it impacts, because Buddhism is also in Cambodia, it's in Thailand, it's everywhere in the most of the Asian part. So it's a playing now Buddhism, it's a religion, now became a conflict area between the two countries. Now it became a geopolitical issue of who is the successor of Dalai Lama. So it matters how, because it's a non-traditional security, because if you have something is secured in a traditional way, that's fine, but there is nothing written like who to elect, how to elect. That's it. It's an impact for non-traditional. And for soft power contest, because this religion matter, if you see, religion is a very fragile thing, right? This fragile thing now being imbibed with the force, imbibed with the power of China. That's why this soft power contest and diplomatic balancing. As if you see, the diplomatic relations between China and India timely changing. So that diplomatic relations also getting affected due to this Buddhism. And if you see, there we have China and we have Tawang in this Arunachal Pradesh region. That is the actually conflict area. The red mark, the red mark is the area China, like we have border with China. That everything is now always will be under control, because anytime China can do anything on that region. And sometimes they also plan for occupying certain villages of Arunachal Pradesh also. So these physical borders, though they are geopolitically important, now they also important because of Buddhism. So now, apart from being a geopolitical issue, now the issue has been a spiritual one. So in order to get the control of that region, now China is playing all geopolitical and religious things into the play. So now it's a time for India to support all the Tibetans and to play a major role like a king, like a player, not like a pawn. So let's hope for the best, and that's it for today. You want us to continue with the same initiatives like this. Please like, share, comment our Vishnu IAS Academy YouTube channel. Thank you.